Damchara mystery, last part. So let us begin the last part of this short story, the Damchara mystery. So in the last part, we have uh, we have discussed that a long-term war, which was going on for a long time, was suddenly finished in one day. So Professor Nath has visited uh, Dr. Gomez to know the mystery why. So now why he has visited Dr. Gomez is that Dr. Gomez is one of the friend uh, along with Raj and Rahul who is expert in deciphering ancient script. Earlier also they have deciphered multiple ancient script which were until then unknown to anybody. However, they decrypt those script as a hobby, not as a profession. Actually, Raj is a owner of a magazine. He stays in Delhi. Rahul, his another friend, is a mystery writer, novel writer who stays in Mumbai. And Gomez is a professor, not professor, he is an assistant professor in a college situated in Damchara, Assam. And in this Damchara, this story is all about. So in the earlier two parts, we have discussed about how Professor Nath approaches Dr. Gomez in his home to know the mystery of this war, which has suddenly finished in one day. This war was fought by the kingsmen and the tribesmen of, or at this very place in Damchara. The kingsmen, that is the soldiers of Sena dynasty, fought a long war with the tribesmen known as Tunga tribe. So Senas won their land within their kingdom, but Tunga refused to surrender their land to them, and that is why the war started. But the tribesmen are uh, so brave and so tenacious and so uh, active during the war that Kingsmen cannot defeat them easily, and the war was running for a long time. But suddenly, what happened is this war is finished in one single day, right? Now, no one knows why, and this Professor Nath is saying that there is one book written in Tungu language that has all the answer. So that is why he want to first decrypt, or rather first discover that manuscript and then decrypt the language to find the mystery. So for decrypting the language, he sought the help of these three friends. Professor Nath has at first contacted Raj. Raj has given the number of Gomez because he is already in Damchara and this mystery is located here only. So the Professor Nath request him to be a part of this quest, such that a long-term mystery which is hidden in the history of this area where Dr. Gomez is staying can be revealed. And remember, this is a mystery. If it is revealed, then many war can be stopped in that way. So that was the main goal of this quest for revealing the mystery of Damchara. Why the war has stopped in one day. Now the thing is that Raj, Rahul, and Gomez, all of them are a little bit skeptic about this. They are very doubtful about the motive of Professor Nath. So when all three friends come to Damchara and was in a meeting in the house of Gomez, Dr. Gomez, all the meeting is very informal, but they are discussing with each other and they are very friendly with each other because they are childhood friends. So they are discussing why Professor Nath is into this. So they called Professor Nath, and Professor Nath has a meeting with them. And in the meeting, Professor Nath understood the hesitation of these three friends in joining his quest for revealing Damchara mystery. Okay, uh, so according to the professor, I want to explain the motive of professor by his own verbatim. I understand your query. You may think that I am here for my personal gain in terms of my career or financial stability. However, if that were the case, I could have approached any other ancient script decoder who would decipher the script for a fee, for a remuneration. But, sir, I am not pursuing personal gain. I am a scholar, and I am not motivated by money, as I have plenty of it. My passion lies in uncovering the secrets within the scripts. If we can understand the true secret, we can apply it to the times. This is critical because many countries are currently at war with their neighbors, and we need to find a way to stop this war. But how? No one seems to have the answer. That is the reason why, if anyone can provide us a viable solution, we have potential to save a substantial amount of money and human lives by ending uh, swiftly ending the war, possibly within a day, as is the case for this war between the Sena dynasty and the Tunga tribe, or rather, yeah, Tunga tribe. Raj was taken aback by the professor's response and was unable to believe Professor Nath's altru- altruistic intentions. He genuinely believed that the professor meant what he said. Turning to Turning back to his friends, Raj queried about their opinion. Where to begin, said Dr. Gomez, and also Ghosh. Both Professor and Raj understood that all four of them were now convinced about the intention of the professor. So, Professor said, we must visit a place called Jatinga Lake Viewpoint. Where is it, Dr. Gomez? The last book written in the Tungu language was found there by a team of foreign tourists. But after that sightings, no other information was received by any of the interested people. So we must begin our search from that place. What do you think, Raj? I agree with Professor. What do you think, Gomez? Ghosh? I also think so. Ghosh nodded affirmatively. Jatinga Lake viewpoint is around 6 hours drive from Damchara main city, where we are sitting now. Jatinga is a rich top settlement in Assam's Dima Hasao district. It is 330 kilometers south of Guwahati. The village is home to approximately 2,500 Khashi Nar people, plus a few Assamese. It is well known as a site of strange bird fatalities. It is easy to go there as the place has no terrorist activities. But the road is treacherous yet heavenly. If we leave at dawn, we can arrive within 2 p.m. Gomez paused and looked at Professor Nath. Will I book a car for the four of us tomorrow? Yes, sure. With this, Professor Nath concluded the meeting as he had to run for his lodge such that he could arrange his luggage for tomorrow's voyage to unearth the mystery of why does a long-term war end so suddenly. 22nd August 2020, the day of journey. At roughly 4 a.m., three friends board Dr. Gomez's car and drive to the lodge where Professor Nath is staying. When they arrive at the lodge, Professor got into the car and the four of them set out for the Jatinga Lake viewpoint near the Jatinga River. After a while, the four travelers forgot their goal and become entirely lost in the grandeur of the countryside through which they were driving. Nature has bestowed all of its blessings on this place. Magnificent hills, a profound forest, and an idyllic road cut across this heavenly environment. Ultimately, around 10 a.m., they reach Jatinga Lake viewpoint. Now their original work would start. First, they have to find the place where the foreigners have found the manuscript written in the Tungu language. As per the information collected by the professor, it was a tea shop where the foreigners had found the manuscript. But there are two to three tea shops in this place, and none of them has any idea about this. By showing the pictures of that group of foreigners, no one was able to identify them, let alone locate the manuscript. After investigating the other shops, also, they could not find any whereabouts of the manuscript. All four were dejected and decided to call it quits for the day. They booked two rooms in a homestay just a kilometer away from Lakeview Point. The homestay is situated in a charming village surrounded by lush greenery and inhabited by a small, close knit community. The village has only one grocery store and a handful of tea shops that cater to the daily needs of its residents. Homestay itself boasts six spacious rooms, all of which are positioned around a serene Buddhist temple. The owner of the house and his family make it a daily ritual to visit the temple at both dawn and dusk to pay their respect to their family deity. The proprietor, an octogenarian, lives with his wife and two adult daughters. His wife is approximately 70 years old, and both daughters have transitioned from their adolescent years into young adulthood. The homestay is peaceful and well organized. After the day long journey, none of the four wasted any time. They freshened up, had dinner, and withdrew to their cozy beds. Raj and Rahul are staying in one room, and Dr. Gomez and Professor Nath are in the other. Both rooms are located side by side. Next morning, Raj, Rahul, Madhusudan, that is Madhusudan Gomez, and Professor Nath were having tea at a nearby shop. They felt refreshed and ready to begin their search again. After paying the bill for the tea and few biscuits, they started to survey the area, discussed with local people, and also looked in the government offices located there. They also visited the old temples and libraries in the area. However, all their searches were in vain. No manuscripts written in the Tungu language were found, and most of the people didn't know about the Tunga tribe either. So, with a dejected heart and frustrated face, they returned to their homestay. All four of them were discussing with each other about their next steps at Raj and Rahul's room when the owner of the homestay come inside their room. So I heard that four of you, I heard that you four are looking for a manuscript written in Tunga script, he queried. The owner of the homestay is quite fit, even if his age is 81, although all of his hair color is now turned white, and so has his mustache and beard, but his voice walking style and attitude still resemble a youth. I heard you were looking for a manuscript written in Tungu script, but uh, I am sorry to say, but I am sorry to say that you will not find that here. But I am sorry to say that you will not find them here. No one from the tribe now live here. Only few people who are direct descendants of the tribe can be found at the village located village located at 3 kilometers located at 3 kilometers across the deep forest. 3 kilometers across the deep forest, and the tribe people are extremely friendly, and they still and will welcome you warmly. Then also, I doubt that whether they have the manuscript or not, because all of them now speak and write in English. They are educated by the Christian missionaries, so I don't think there are anyone who now speak or write in this language, which is known as the Tungu language. Still, you can give a try. Saying this, he takes farewell from the four members of the team who have come here in search of the manuscript written in Tungu language. Correct. Thank you so much. Raj told the owner of the homestay gleefully, you have saved a lot of time and cost. We will surely give it a try. Accordingly, the four members started their journey towards the remotest village of the place. While going through the jungles, they were wondering how the roads are constructed here, and that also so accurately, as the place is totally inaccessible if those roads are not constructed. They all are thanking the engineers and planners of the road and is taking them towards their destiny. All the road does not lead to the although the road does not lead to the exact location of the village, although the road does not lead to the exact location of the village, after a while the team understood that. Fortunately, few people of the village returned back to their home, and they are from that village only. They requested them to park the car in on the road and walk with them towards the village. Accordingly, all the four members start to follow the group of people and ultimately reach the village. As told to them by the owner of the homestay, the villagers welcomed them with open hearts and offered them refreshments. But, however, their search for the manuscript remained inconclusive, as no one from the village even read in Tungu language. They said they said that the last person to know this language died last year in a landslide, which also destroyed his house and other belongings. His family built a new house nearby, but all his possessions are now lost in the oblivion. The Now everybody of us write and speak in English or Assamese, but not in Tungu language. Although the four members of the team was highly impressed by the way these remote villagers are communicating with them in clear English, but they also understood that it is now nearly impossible to find a manuscript written in that ancient script. So they decided to quit and return back to their homestay. They also decided that they will return today to Damchara. Accordingly, they took the villagers and drove straight to the homestay. There they inform the owner about the encounter with the villagers. Then they check out from the homestay. Before going out from Jatinga, they stopped their car into one of the tea shop they had not visited earlier. It is located just beside the highway which brings them here. They ordered tea and biscuits. While sipping the tea, he was suddenly distracted by a sound and looked behind him. The tea shop has a rectangular floor shape. In one side, the reception is placed from where the tea and snacks are distributed. All, all the other side benches were arranged for customers. Raj and Rahul were seated just opposite to the reception. Professor Nath and Dr. Gomez were sitting in the benches placed at the left wall. While looking behind, Raj noticed a framed artwork. By looking at a distance, it can be understood that it is at least 50 years old. The artwork was a word scene where two parties are looking at something with all their weapon in hand. One party seems to be a part of the king's soldier, and the other party is dressed in tribal attire. Raj got curious and informed Rahul about this. Rahul also looks behind, and he can see the picture clearly. He asks a staff of the tea shop to bring the picture to him. On seeing this, Gomez and Professor Nath also come near to that place, and all of them start to inspect the picture. But they are doing so in a shabby manner, as they know that their quest has failed and they have lots of time in hand. But after carefully observing the picture, all four of them have the same question: where are the two parties at war looking at? They are not looking at each other as they should be when two parties are at war. Now, by observing their dress and weapons, it can be easily understood that they are at war, and this war is taking place in the ancient time, which can be at the time when the mighty Ahom dynasty ruled this area, or maybe older than that. But where are they looking at? They are looking at a person standing on the highland. This person has a rod in his hand which has a symmetric shape. Gomez whispered to the team. But that is impossible because the attire and weapon of the army at war indicate that this picture is drawn at a time when weapons cannot be made in a symmetric shape. Ancient civilization used materials available to them, like wood, stone, fire, and metal, to make weapons. Here is how weapons were made in different eras. Stone Age, weapons were made from stone and wood, shaped and joined together. For example, a hand axe was made by shaping a stone into a cutting edge and attaching it to a wooden handle using animal tendons or sinew. Early humans Spears were first made from bamboo as early as 9th to 10th century. Mesopotamians at the middle of the 3rd millennium BC, mace heads were cast from copper. At the Bronze Age, weapons were made from bronze. Later civilizations weapons were made from iron and steel. Early people used weapons for hunting, food, and protection. Ancient civilization developed specialized bows and arrows, spears, and sword for warfare. Some civilization also used liquid fire, which was projected onto enemy ships using siphons and could burn on water. Gomez continued. But the rod this person is carrying, and if I am not wrong, it is in the modern era. Another point to observe is the attire of this person. It is quite modern compared to the clothing worn by the king's men and tribes, explained Professor Nath. On consultation with the staff and also with the owner of the shop, who is quite old, they learned that this artwork was gifted by a librarian working near their village. Which village? Shouted Professor Nath in excitement. The village where the Tungu tribe stay. The owner replied with a frightened tone. He was a little shaky due to the increased tone of Professor. That means the village we had visited. Let us go to the village again. This may be our last chance. Professor Nath concluded and ran towards their car. Now, the rest of the story you can find at my newsletter, itel.substack.com, itel.substack.com, and you can read the entire story. But please note, you cannot read the end of the story because it is protected for the paid subscriber of my newsletter. So become a paid subscriber and finish the story, see what is in store, how the story ends. I think you will not be disappointed by reading the entire story. Thank you, and I will end this podcast with this. See you next time.